Get ready to set sail for fail with me, effing controller, on another patrol in Silent Hunter 3 as Otis Spunkmeyer, and we are going to get underway here. It's, let's see actually what the date is, first of all. Holy jeez, it's June 30th. Well, we missed Dunkirk, that's for sure. I think we got back into harbor on the 30th-ish of May, so we've been in port for a while. We did take some significant damage, but we're going to go off and scour the seas, just as we've scoured the port here. Ladies. That's not sexy. Scouring is not sexy. Okay. Let's see what else happened while we were in port. Well, I do know one thing that happened while we were in port. One of our officers was killed. He was killed in a bar fight, which is a random thing that can happen with Silent Hunter 3 Commander installed. Just adds a little unpredictability to the game, I guess, but let's see who it was. Nobody of consequence. All three of you guys are okay. We have a new cadet on board. Basically, the cadet was the one that ended up getting killed. So, hey, Michael Schaefer, welcome aboard. I did make sure to replace our cadet machinist with another cadet machinist, though, so we're all set there. Only other thing that I did that's really worth noting is that I assigned this qualification to this guy, so we now have a total of 3 radio men, which kind of seems overkill. I didn't really know what to do with this last guy that I hadn't assigned a qualification to, so this may end up being kind of a bad idea, but I don't know, I think we're pretty well stocked otherwise, so maybe I'll throw in another... Actually, I do have room, technically, for another petty officer, so maybe I'll give him a command or a watchman qualification, but who knows. Lethal is still alive, so there you go. And if you do want to sign up to be on board, let me know. Obviously, it's too late for this patrol, but there's always next time. Where are we going? Oh, and also what happened while we were in port is France kind of got conquered or something. It's all blue, so they're not doing so well. Looks like this is probably just representative of the Vichy at this point. So, yeah, the channel is still not real safe, especially if you go closer to Britain. But I am going to use it for transit, because I think we have to go... Yeah, we're going to BF-21, which is right here. I have 2 kind of pending requests for challenges, I guess. The first one is to... the one that I've had for a while is to sink a convoy by killing the escorts and then shooting everything else. And the other one is to pay a visit to Liverpool. Liverpool is a hellhole. It's hard to get to in any... reasonable way without getting completely destroyed, and it's tough to navigate. You can see that that's really narrow there. So, oh, that's even worse than the Firth. Oh my god. Well, I might give it a shot, but oof, no promises. I do want to actually prioritize, though, the whole convoy sinky thing. The reason is that we are running close to the time where that's not really going to be possible. It's eventually going to get to the point where British anti-submarine warfare measures are so sophisticated that we're just not even going to have a prayer. So that's on the table. And other than that, things are going pretty well for Germany right now. You can see they've got one of their commerce raiders going underway, and then that thing there, and that thing there. But that's not going to last for too much longer. As we get to 1942, things are going to get a little bit more complicated, but for now we're going to try and get as much tonnage as possible and have as much fun as possible. So I think I'm just going to navigate us out of the port and take us through the canal and have us fiddle fart here and then probably go up here. We'll see. Possibly go up here. Again, the priority is to find a convoy, so that shouldn't be too hard. I'm going to shut up now and continue on. So we've been getting an assload of messages, and I don't know what they all mean. For instance, that one, I don't know what that means. Provide beacon if contact can be kept. I know what provide bacon if contact can be kept means, but and then there's another message from the same U-boat, U-102. I think U-102 was actually sunk today, or the day before, so I don't know if those messages are related to that in any way, but regardless, it's a fairly active ocean out there. Summertime tended to be fairly active in the U-boat war. I don't know why, because you'd think that a U-boat would try to hunt more in the winter because it's darker out, but whatever. I have, in other news, been tracking this task force, which started here and then seems to have bowed around here and is probably on its way into the Thames. We've seen that repeatedly in our previous patrols, where there's a task force that kind of just fiddle farts. I've been saying fiddle fart a lot lately. Well, it patrols, shall we say, in this area, and I don't know why. It's not like I'm... Actually, I do know why, because I tried to go into the Thames once. So, that's really just good AI. What am I talking about? But otherwise, I think our entry into the channel is going to be fairly easy. Oh, another message. Let's see what it says. Are you serious? They have? Really? There are U-boats in the Atlantic? Attacking merchants? Get out of town. Good lord, that is the stupidest. Did I read that right? German U-boats have attacked merchant ships in the Atlantic. That's news, apparently. Wow, okay. Oh, man. Sometimes the messaging in this game is kind of silly. Oh my god, we're getting a lot of messages. Multiple escorts, aircraft, depth charges, forced surfacing, destroying logs, explosives set to scuttle boat. Oh my god. Cats and dogs living together, mass hysteria. Alright. Well, we, meanwhile, are having a fairly uneventful start to our patrol. And I'm going to stop talking now because it seems like the game is just going to be silly from now on. Oh! I just saw this. The Italians are in the war now, too. So, that presents some interesting possibilities that I might discuss at a later time. Well, why not now? Why don't we read this message? Yeah, U-102 has been sunk. Good for them. They didn't have a very good patrol, actually. So, we can eventually go into the Mediterranean and use these ports here. We can even be based out of... which one? La Spezia here. La Spezia. And we can, sail around and cause all kinds of problems. The thing is, though, is that the Mediterranean is a pretty poor area to operate for a U-boat. And I say that because, there's certainly cargo there, and these are great ports to attack, but it's, first of all, not real deep, and it's fairly constrained in terms of your room to roam. So, historically, I don't think any of the U-boats that went into the Mediterranean ever made it out. So I'll just leave you with that. Probably not going to go in there, but we are going to go in here. So again, I'm shutting up now. Oh my goodness. Damn. This is a slow-moving convoy heading towards Dover, right smack in the middle of the channel wall, the entrance to the channel. This is a poor candidate for my little operation to kill all the escorts. Reason being is that if I want to sink the remaining ships, I'd have to operate on the surface, logically. And this is a terrible area to operate on the surface. So this is a really horrible area to hunt a convoy anyway. So I'm going to have to give those guys a pass, because they're just probably heading into Dover since they're heading northeast. And even if they were to go further out, it would take too long to... get to an area where they were where they would be huntable, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to ignore them. Feel terrible about it, but it's got to be done. Oh, crap. Exactly what I was talking about. Where is he? This is just a horrible, horrible place to fight the war. I don't see him. Let's get our watch officer on deck. 053. The fact that the range is so long on that. Yeah, it says patrol craft. Seas are really calm here too. So I'm guessing that that is... Oh, I can kind of see it. Maybe I can't. I can't see shit. I'm going to dive. Just to be safe. Oh, that kills me to leave a convoy alone like that, but it's kind of the only way to do this. That is definitely a motorboat, seeing how fast it's going. So we're going to let it do its thing for a little while. That can't be him again. Well, whatever. We're going to surface. Whoops. And continue on. Oh boy, another warship. Probably another motorboat. And the fact that I can't see it strongly implies that it is, yes, another motorboat. Oh no! That's got a mast and some smoke, and it says destroyer. Well, it doesn't really mean anything. In either case, we would dive, so we're not interested in messing with the destroyer. Whoops. Which direction was he heading? Was he heading for us? He was heading for us. Oh dear. This could get a little hairy. Oof. Yeah, he's on anti-submarine maneuvers, it looks like. That was a little creepy. Alright, well, we made it through that. He's still present, though, so I'm going to give him another couple minutes to get the hell out of my area. And we're going to go ahead and proceed. Whoops, whoops. Don't go ahead standard. Don't do that. Alright, I think we're golden. So, a little bit of a slap and a tickle there. Is that really what that was? Probably not. But everything's fine. This is an interesting message. U-30, 52, 34, and 99 are being commanded to report to the port of Lorient, which is here. Lorient is where a lot of the U-boats ended up getting based out of, there and Saint-Nazaire as well, I think. The reason for that, obviously, is that it's a free... You know, you don't have to go through the channel. You're right here, you start here, and you can go wreak havoc in the Atlantic much more easily. So, or you don't have to go over the top of Scotland, which is what some U-boat captains did. It's a very convenient place to start, but with that said, it's within easy range of the RAF. So, as the war goes on, France becomes less and less feasible as a place to operate or to start out from. But I'm considering doing that. So, probably after I get back from this patrol, I'm going to put in a request to be based out of there, which may be refused, of course. So we'll see what happens with that, but that's something I just wanted to bring to you guys' attention because it's a fun little factoid. It's really part of the fun of the game is just that it ends up getting so customizable in that way. You can, specify where you want to be based out of. You can eventually put in requests to have different boats, different crewmen. It's a very rich experience, in my opinion. I'm going to stop rambling and waxing poetic and continue on. I was just about to start a recording saying that our passage has been relatively quiet. Not so much. Getting a little bit of stutter there. Sorry about that. 338. That's a small passenger, I think. I'm not sure if I want to mess with him because of my stated mission, so I'm going to let him pass. We'll keep an eye on him, though. I'll mark him down here. Actual, I don't know why I'm doing that, because he's going to appear on our little hydrophone doohickey. It's really clear out, too, so I don't think a torpedo attack's a good idea regardless, but... He's quite close, too. I thought I would have heard him because I did a dive a little bit ago. I guess he might have been out of range. I'll take a quick peek, see if he is fairly small. If he's a large target, I may still make an attack on him, although I'm in kind of a shitty position to do that. Yeah, he's just a little guy. I'm going to let him pass. Is he even British? Of course he's British. They're always British. Alright, we're going to let him go. And hopefully he didn't catch sight of us, whether from our actual boat or from my my periscope. Boy, I'm one hell of a captain. I sure know my way around a ship. But if he did see us, we might get an air attack here in a little bit. So, oh boy, I can't wait. And he's passed, more or less. Well, no, not really. The thing that's kind of bothering me about this is that the time compression isn't going past 32, so he could have certainly seen us. I don't like this. Oh well. He should be out of sight now. Yeah, and I can increase compression. So I hate how you can do that. I hate that's how that's like one of your most reliable ways to tell whether or not you've been detected. Because it is super cheesy. But, oh. Whoopsies. That wasn't good. I don't know if that was up high enough for him to see or not, and that's something I can continually do, is when you're on this screen here, well, let me explain. You can bring the periscope up and down by just hitting page down, or page up to bring it up, page down to bring it down. If you're on this screen, though, let's bring it up part of the way, and you hit page down to, like I'm pushing it right now, it doesn't bring it down. It's still there. You can do it from here, woo, but not from there. So, word to the wise, be careful when extending your periscope. At the club or at sea. Okay, I'm going to shut up. We are almost to our grid, though. We've got one more turn, it looks like, and hopefully we don't get bombed on the way. We have just crossed into our grid, so we are officially in BF21. So I've got a little search pattern kind of plotted out, and I'm, obviously going to be hunting for ships, but my priority is to find a convoy. And I haven't heard very much radio traffic relating to convoys. So I don't know if we're going to see anything or not. If we don't run into a convoy that's conveniently located nearby, I'm going to take a run up to Liverpool and at least scout it out. As I said, this passage here looks ridiculous. That is just insane. But we will at least just take a peek. And then from there, if we can't even get through there, then we'll try to find another convoy elsewhere, possibly in the AM area. There's quite a lot of shipping in there. So, but for now, we're going to cruise around here, do our 24-hour thing, and start working our way through St. George's Channel after that. This actually isn't going to last us for a whole 24 hours, so I'm going to, I don't know, improvise a little route here. Take it like that, and then like that, and then like that. These are always such bullshit. I just do roughly rigid angles and kind of hope that it works out. Let's see. Okay. And there's obviously no problem with staying for longer than 24. And we'll be doing dives too, so that time is going to be a lot longer. So, anyways, we're going to hang out. If nothing happens, going up here. If nothing happens here, we're going over here. End of story. Oh, and by the way, there's a task force that actually sailed from Liverpool. And I've been tracking them a little bit. I missed one of the marks here, but obviously they're going around the Isle of Man here. They're going to go through here, and from there probably towards Iceland, so they're not going to be a factor. I was worried that they were going to turn this way, and then they would most definitely be a factor. So, looks like we're in the clear for now, but that can change. And while I'm thinking about it, conditions right now are fairly calm. There's a little bit of chop. It's really not that severe, though. But the big thing here, not only is the sky completely clear, the sun is still up, and it is 9 o'clock, so hunting is going to be really, really tough, especially if we're going to be trying to hunt destroyers. They're going to be able to see our the wake of our torpedoes really well. I've only got 2 Type 2's loaded up front, and I have a Type 2 in reserve, but it's going to be a little tricky to execute this attack if it happens. So, I don't know. We'll have to just see what happens, I guess. Just letting you guys know what the tactical situation is. We've just had a merchant sound contact slightly to port, and I'm going to see if I can figure out what course it's taking. It's actually going to be on an intercept course with us. And that's actually not what I really want. If I'm going to be proceeding with this mission as I've laid it out, because I don't want to shoot at single targets. This is almost certainly not a convoy, obviously, then, because it's one target. And let's actually... Oh! That's an interesting development. Rain is good. We like rain. If it rains for a good long while, that's excellent for our prospects. We'll do another dive here once we get to the flag. The reason I want to do that is because you never know. It could be just that I'm only hearing the one. Oh, I can do it now. And somehow he could be dead ahead of us, that's why, yeah. So, it looks like we've just got the one contact. We're not going to bother with him. Again, it's just because if I want to do this as I've laid it out, it's just not worth it to shoot at one target. Although, wait a minute. If we do it that way, though, if we do attack him, we'll be able to use one of our Type 1s under the conditions as they appear to be. So, kind of too late, though, to have come to that conclusion. Because he's ahead of me, sort of. I'd have to take kind of a L-shaped course to get into a good firing position on him. And this close to Britain, I don't know if it's worth getting detected, because then they could just route all their convoy traffic away from me. So, I think I'm going to let him go. I'm going to let him go, and then if I'm not hearing too much in the hours ahead, I might start attacking single targets, because getting into a convoy fight up in here sounds like a really terrible idea. Mostly because they'll be probably going into Liverpool, and that won't give me much of an opportunity to do the attack. I'd have to really hurry. So, yeah. We're just going to hope that we can find something that's, you know... I'm just going to use these. Past this line to in this direction. If we can find any convoys, that's great. But otherwise, not so much. Anyways, no more rambling. I'm going to let that guy go and continue on. We have a radio report of a ship here. So this isn't on hydrophone. This is based on a radio contact update. The reason I'm even mentioning this is that sometimes ship contacts are actually convoy contacts. We're just detecting the one ship somehow. So it's actually kind of fortunate that our course is taking us this way, kind of towards him. In fact, I'm going to remove this point here and have us just go that way. See if we can intercept him, possibly. This is kind of actually turned a little bit screwy. There we go. If we can, and I'm going to try to get him on hydrophone and see if there is just the one. We've got radio messages, too. But it's probably a single contact. I mean, it's rare that you get a contact like this and it is a convoy. But it's worth checking out, in my opinion. Meanwhile, let's see what these messages are. Boring. How about the other one? How do I get it? Can I have it? Please? Oh, a new submarine base. I thought it said a new submarine. Well, that's cool. Bergen is sort of an okay place to operate from, I guess. Looks like kind of a weird passage through there. It doesn't really offer any huge advantages, in my opinion, though. I mean, Wilhelmshaven is here, Bergen's here. You have a little bit of a head start going over the top here, but that's about it. I think between Bergen and Lorient, we would definitely want Lorient, because you have access to this whole area with relative ease. With Bergen, you still have to worry about destroyers and stuff, so just food for thought, I guess. Actually, why don't we just go ahead and hustle over here. Weather is still pretty shitty, which is great. I'm glad that it turned so rapidly. That's good news. Come on. I'm going to increase it. Technically, that's not kosher under my rules, but whatever. The RAF isn't going to find us in weather like this, so... Okay, well, we're not seeing him. I guess he was going south-southwest, which is more like that. So, I didn't really think that through so well. He's probably around here. Although he should probably still be audible. You know what, I didn't do a very good job of tracking this guy, so... He's probably already gone, but, okay. If we do get a convoy report later on, I'll be kicking myself a little bit. But for now, we're just going to say, oops, and move on. Alright, well, we're about 30 minutes away from finishing up our route here. Based on our objectives here, we have completed our time requirement, so I'm going to start moving us towards Liverpool. God help us. I'm going to move us a little bit more towards Ireland, I guess, just because it's less likely to be infested with destroyers. Although that's actually... Belfast is right there, so there's probably going to be destroyers regardless. I'm going to have us go like this, maybe? Sure, why not? And then like this, maybe? And then like this? And we'll see where that gets us. I know that this little... I don't know, bump here looks a little weird, but it's... I don't want to stay on a steady course. Just as a general rule, it's a good habit to make your course a little bit squiggly, so that if the enemy does somehow sight you anywhere, and you don't know about it, you will be able to kind of juke them out a little bit. So, that's my logic behind being a sloppy U-boat captain. But for now, this is the course we're going to take. This is always subject to change. I usually do change it off screen while I'm kind of fiddling around, but this will take us to the mouth here of the harbor, and from there, I don't know what we're going to do. We're going to have to hope that we get there around nighttime, and we probably will. It says we're about 40 hours away, which is going to put us there early evening, which will still be pretty bright out. But the thing is I'm going to be doing dives and things, and I'll probably have some contacts through here. So it's not as ill-timed as it looks. Hopefully... Oh, that's gone down quite a bit, though. Well, I'll make it work. Just have to get there is the problem. And if we do get any convoys, like I say, I'll try to chase them. If they're in here, maybe not. We'll see.